welcome back everyone, welcome back to another week, another edition of the LiuLi Cup Weekly number 6, your weekly dose of LiuLi Cup action. I'm of course just VIP. With me I'm joined by these lovely players, these amazing players by the people in chat and by my plushies as well. Welcome one and all to another LiuLi Cup. Again, this is a new weekly tournament, has been running for over a month at this point, for 6 weeks in a row with all of that LiuLi Cup. Of course, LiuLi is Saber. He's a Chinese caster, has decided to run his own tournaments. These are weeklies leading into a monthly finals. And let's jump in. Exclamation mark B in the chat if you guys want to have a look at the bracket yourselves. The bracket is live, the bracket is stacked, and we are jumping into our first series of the broadcast. And spawning in the bottom left hand corner of Persephone, we have the red Terran player. We have the red Terran representing the Platinum Heroes. It is Nicaract. And spawning in the top left hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the blue Protoss player, the blue Protoss himself, representing Virtus Pro. It is Classic. Here we go. Aye. As we are settling. And again, hope you've all been enjoying yourselves. Hope you all had a great time. Hope you all had a great day. I do apologize, we did actually miss a broadcast today, but I also alluded that that might be the case. Pigstar Cup. We did decide not to cover Pigstar Cup this week as I was otherwise unavailable in the morning, so I do apologize. No Pigstar Cup, but we're at least here for LiuLi, and we should be here for RSL every day moving forward, including the podcast as well. So there's still plenty of content throughout the course of the week, just a little bit less than we used to. Again, you know, nowadays I got my bunnies that I'm looking after. Like I've been tilling the fields as well. I started like some fresh garden beds, and I've been growing food for the bunnies. No. So I've had a little less free time in the mornings, I should say, and just been trying to, you know, touch some grass, if you will, like an animal, like a duck, like a bunny. Beautiful. But yeah, regardless, hope you all had a great time regardless. And again, we're still live every day on a daily basis with all that StarCraft action. Also, before I forget, how could I? Pappy, it's Gamba time. It is Gamba time. Predictions are open. Place your bets on who you think will claim the series. Coming into this Classic is the favorite player to go deep and to go far in this tournament, but we'll see if Nicaract can pose a threat. Again, Nicaract, he's one of those players that does threaten players, especially in TVP. He can punch up, especially players against, you know, herO, Max, Classic. He can take maps, and on a good day, on the best day, he can take series as well. Let's go. For now, we do have our initial openers here. It was a double gas opener, faster factory, delayed CC out of Nicaract, going for a more tech heavy start with the earlier Cyclone. Meanwhile, across the map, standard opener out of Classic. He does get a safety shield battery in the main base just in case, setting up with a wall up on the low ground and going for his Twilight Council opener. So standard opener, standard play out of Classic, very safe play as well with said shield battery. Meanwhile, Nicaract, he will be ideally trying to catch out one of these Stalkers. Cyclone has arrived, and we'll see if he can get the lock on. Yeah, it does lock on, but the Stalkers will zone away. The Stalkers will zone. We have a back and forth. Again, it's on Nicaract to make sure his CC doesn't get delayed, and Classic backs off. Classic does back off, and the base, the CC will get up and running. Boys will pull to repair, then bam, they can just go straight to mining. So nice moves here, slick moves out of Nicaract. Setting up defensively here and getting to his own 2 soon to be 3-1-1 setup here. Interesting. He has a tech lab on the starport. He fakes cloak, but he is not going for banshees. He's going for medevacs instead, going for an early drop. Okay, very interesting. So I do like the fake out here from Nicaract, setting up for a drop, which is of course less committed. Less investment here, as we're going to be canceling the upgrade and not as intensive as a Banshee while we build up towards that next step. So Nicaract, he's got some builds. Man. Let's go. As well, does borrow, and nice target firing, does pull the boy in time. Classic does defend, does zone away. The medevac gets eyes on additional gateways, gets eyes on 2 gates in the main base, 1 gate at the natural, is aware of at least 3 gate blink. We are aware that it's only 3 gateways as the third base is on the way. Nikrat is a little bit in the dark, but for the most part is aware of what's going on. Behind this, we do have the transition into actual Banshee play. Oh, okay, so we are committing into Banshee, not into Cloak, of course. The upgrade was cancelled, but Banshees are on the way nonetheless, and we're going for a 2-base all-in. Yeah, we're going for the all-in. No stim, no upgrades, no add-on on the racks. It's all or nothing here for Nikrat. And Classic, he will swat it. Yeah, he will swat the move out. He's coming in from behind, and we may just force a base trade. Oh, but that's send it, Pappy, send it. Classic's already here. The problem is that Classic is already in the natural. Meanwhile, Nikrat is halfway across. He's halfway across the map. He's still not even pushing in towards the bases here. Classic has time. Yeah, Classic, he throws down shield batteries. Shield batteries are on the way. Immortal's being current as we speak. Stalkers are trying to push in, and again, there's no cloak, so they can focus on that Banshee. Now playing a little bit more conservative, does pull back. There's a recall back home, and again, Classic, the shield battery is almost done, and more than halfway. Tank is moving in. That was 10 SCVs being killed here for Nikrat, so he has less mining, less economy back at home. Stalkers, they cannot blink in. They can't quite blink in. Nice tank boys. There we go. Does go for the dive. It's going to cost a lot of Stalkers. 1 tank goes down. The Immortal does pump out. The shield batteries are done, and Classic is holding. Yeah, Classic is holding on. Again, he was able to buy so much time, and he was able to be the initial aggressor as well. GG gets called. Classic, he shuts down the 2-base all-in, and Classic takes game number 1. Whew. GG. Hey, GG, well played. A cheeky build here out of Nikrat to fake out a bit of a longer game, to fake out Cloak, to commit to pull the boys on 2 bases. Unfortunately, Classic, he had a scouting Stalker. Remember, he had 1 Stalker outside the bases, and he saw the push, and as he saw the push, he already had a backstab getting ready. He was going to just apply some pressure anyway, and he was able to do even more than that. He was able to distract Nikrat, kill some SCVs, catch some of the reinforcements, but also delay the push, because if you remember, Nikrat, because of that aggression, he was leaving his army idle in the center of the map for a couple of extra seconds, for like 10 to 20 seconds. He just left the army idle because of the distraction, and every second counted in preparation for that all-in, in preparation for the shield batteries, the immortals, the warp-ins, the recall. All did add up. All did add up. Oh. As we're now getting ready for that second game, we're setting up. After this game, we'll go over the bracket itself, so then we can catch up together and figure out where we are and where we are headed. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. We're getting into our next game. We're getting into our next setup. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner here of Pylon, we have the blue Protoss flavor. The blue Protoss. We have the South Korean Protoss. Representing for this pro, it is Classic. And spawning in the top left-hand corner, we have as opponent. We have the Red Terran, the Red Terran himself. For the Platinum Heroes, down in the series, it is Nikrat. Here we go. As Nikrat does move out early on with the SCV, I'd imagine the goal here is to disrupt the initial opener, get across the map, and throw down that eBay. SCV moves in. Oh no! The probe does scouts. The probe is aware, and Classic can reactively pull some workers if we commit to the eBay. The SCV's coming in. Here come the extra boys, and this is just a really quick reaction, really quick scout, and Nikrat getting shut down so early on. This is also why typically when you go for the worker scout, you actually go, you try to deviate past the main scouting path to try to get across the map unscouted, to slip by the initial probe. goes for the second eBay. No, that's gonna be a kill on the SCV, and that's gonna be a cancellation on 2 eBays. And that is not worth it here. That's a brutal start for Nikrat. Ay. Thankfully, he does cancel in time. Thankfully, not a kill. Thankfully. But a cleaner start for Classic and a shaky opener for Nikrat. Shaky. So here we are opening up. Here we are opening up. We do have Nickrecht back at home, getting into a delayed CC, getting to his add-ons. Again, it's just a little bit delayed here for Nickrecht just because of the opener. We'll see if he can work past that. I believe he can. Believe. You want to believe. So Classic breaks in. It's going to be a Twilight Council opener out of Classic. Twilight Council back at home. Oh. So Twilight Council in the blink, most likely into 3 gates, and the pressure's going to be on Nickrecht, especially because of the shaky opener. There's a very, very high chance that he just goes into a 2-base all in, right? Just because he knows that he's fallen behind, he knows that it was a shaky start, he knows that he's behind economically, so we might just double down here. We'll keep an eye on the Raxes, keep an eye on the starport, keep an eye on the add-ons for Nickrecht. We're on Pylon. I mean, aggression even is favored on Pylon as well. True. He is favored. Nickrecht tries to move out. Oh. So let's connect with the lock on. Picks up on the depths, but overall, the Cyclone is picked up. Shield battery halfway down. Yeah, GG gets caught. It's just too much, too quickly going wrong here for Nickrecht. Yeah. When it came to the opener and now losing the Cyclone, and with that, Classic will claim the series 2-0, advancing on to the next round. GG. GG, well played. I mean, solid play there out of Classic, and again, game 1, I can see that going either way as well, but unfortunately, Classic was able to scout, able to punish, able to shut it down. Classic being all over Nickrecht. GG, well played. Classic will take it. Shout out to Nickrecht, of course, and he's, of course, one of the regulars as well, so we expect to see more of him in the future, in the coming weeks, in the coming Open Cups. With that, GG, well played. And now it's our moment to catch up with the bracket. Figure out where we are and where we are headed. Here we go. As we can switch our scenes over. Towards the bracket. And from the top, where exactly are we? Okay, we have Goblin. Goblin takes down David Latos 2-0. Goblin's up against Max in the round of 16. Meanwhile, Creator is up against Mana in a PvP. So we have non-stop PvPs in the upper portion of the bracket. Scoring down, we have ByuN versus Triple, Solar versus Ordinary. That's going to be a ZVP and a TVP respectively, moving into the quarterfinals. Meanwhile, we have herO. He's up against Ledlix in the first round. In that PvP, we have Shin versus Percival. Classic just takes down Nickrecht, and Rogue is up against Hearthstone. Now, I was very tempted to jump into Rogue versus Hearthstone, but everyone jumped into Rogue versus Hearthstone. Like, it has a lot of casters, so I wanted to try to stay away from that. I wanted to try to spread out at least a little bit. In the end, both of our series still lead into the same quarterfinals, but I mean, there's a lot of casters right now. There's ourselves, Wardy, Rotterdam, Pig, other language casters as well. It's hard to avoid each other, especially once we get into the quarterfinals, so I'm okay eventually catching up and eventually meeting up. But I did avoid Rogue vs Hearthstone just because everyone was involved in that series. But there's some really good matches here. Like, again, like Shin versus Percival also began and is also a spicy matchup, 100%. The potential ByuN versus Solar. So if we got into like Solo Ordinary first into potentially ByuN, like that's also like a really high profile matchup. herO versus Shin or herO versus Percival, also really good as well. Like, there's no really bad answer here. I did just want to avoid the PvPs, right? Max, Goblin, Creator, Mana. Yeah, non-stop PvPs there for a little bit until the semifinals. So I wanted to avoid that section of the bracket, but everywhere else I don't think there's really a wrong answer, just because of the diversity, right? Just because of the spread of the races, the spread of the players. So for the time being, we are going to be chilling here and waiting for one of the other matches to open up. Now, because we just followed a Classic, we're most likely going to wait for Rogue versus Hearthstone to wrap up. We did have a really fast series, and let's have a look here to see if they're in game 1, 2, or 3. They're in game 2. Okay, so Rogue is up 1-0. And, he's looking quite in form in game 2 as well. So it might become a 2-0. I say that Hearthstone, oh my god, does get 2 full Overlords. Okay, yeah, we got some games. So they might even go to the ace match. For now though, we're going to be going on a break, and we'll either be jumping into the ace match of Rogue versus Hearthstone, or we'll be jumping into Classic versus Rogue. One or the other. One or the other. That is the plan here. For now though, we'll be going on a short break, and we'll see you guys soon after the break. See you soon. Bye. See you soon. Welcome back, everyone. Well, never mind. So we do have a little bit of a pause. Hopefully everything's okay, but welcome back, everyone. Welcome back. Hope you enjoyed that lovely Brutal OST. We just wrapped up with Classic versus Nickracht in the first round, and we were going to go into Hearthstone versus Rogue, but they're locked into a very long late game scenario, and they're still going on in game 2. So because of that, we did find another series to jump into instead. A fresh series in the quarterfinals, a fresh best of 3 between Solar and ByuN. Let's go, Bobby, let's go. Spawning in the top right. How could I pass up, Bobby? How could I pass up? Especially because apparently we're the only English casters for this series, as the others are in their own respective matches. But we go spawning in the top right corner of Ultra Love. We have the orange Terran player. We have the South Korean Terran representing Shopify. It is ByuN. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the South Korean Zerg player. We have the red Zerg representing Team Falcons. It is Solar. Here we go. And if you're in the chat, you know what time it is. It is Gamba time. Predictions are open. Place your bets on who you think will claim the series. Especially like in the chat, as these two have been facing off quite often in recent times. I believe they both just played in LiuLi Cup, and ByuN did end up taking that series and ended up winning. We'll see how Solar does compare in the rematch though. Let's go. As the banter has begun, what are they saying? I have no idea. I see 19, I see 8. He's asking, yo, do you want to go to the mountains? I don't wake up at 8 o'clock. Question mark, replies ByuN. As we do have our 2x Reapers. So 2x Reaper out of ByuN. We could throw down a 3rd Rex for the back of the main base. We'll see how hard ByuN does commit. Meanwhile, we do have a hatch gas pool out of Solar. Standard so far. Overlord is on the way, and Solar will soon confirm whether or not we have a committed aggressive opener or not. So the Overlord is coming in for the scouts. For anyone that does know any Korean and is willing to translate, I would appreciate some translations in the chat. I could try to open up my Google Lens and try to translate this, but things are about to pop off. Oh, as we're not opening up Reaper. Gasless? My apologies, I missed that. Gasless opener here. 2x Marine into CC without any gas. This is very greedy here by ByuN. Okay, let's go. Now with this, we can do a couple different things. We can turn this into a 3 or even 4x timing with extra Rexes thrown down. And I would imagine that's going to be the case because gases are so late, right? Like, we can spend resources elsewhere. Solar, he's like, the hell's going on? He's like, what? It's like, why do you not have any Reapers? What's happening? ByuN is hunting down Overlord. Solar, he's wise to this. He does hide his Overlord here on top of the pillar. Overlord is safe. Behind this, we're just droning. No excess gas, so no Bane Bus follow-up, no Road Rush either. We have Link Speed, sure. But Solar, he does actually delay his 3rd. Yeah, Solar, he delays his 3rd base. As Solar is droning. Third is just now being taken, and ByuN will confirm. Yeah, ByuN is aware behind this. Yep. As we can see here, third and fourth racks. As we mentioned, this was our at least theoretical follow-up here just because of the delayed gases, so he's going for the 4 racks. This does hit quite hard. This hits quite hard indeed. We're building up to 4 axes, and then this will hit with stim and combat shields. Stim, combat shields, mass marine. This will hit like a truck, and we'll see if Solar plays with roaches. If he does open roaches are typically a very safe way to play, and they're going to be an answer to this. So we'll see if he gets into roaches or if he goes into Lingbane Queen, which can also still work as well, but it's going to be a little bit more difficult. It's going to be a lot more difficult. Ooh, 1 marine gets surrounded. Nice catch. Every little bit counts. Every little bit helps. Solar does catch 1. Go. So we are building up. From here, we do have a fast plus 1 carapace on the way from Solar, which does make sense. Plus 1 carapace will be able to, I mean, it's the most important upgrade here against a mass bio army. Here comes the 4x. Again, Stim is finishing up combat shields as well, just in time for this push. We have how many Marines? We have 20 Marines in total. That's a lot of Marines. Now remember, every Stim counts. Every Stim does hurt because of no medevacs. No medevacs, no support for the Marines. There's the first Stim. Gets one, oh, just 1 queen. Lings, they come in for the surround, and Solar, he does not surround the army. The Marines, they do slip away, and ByuN escapes. ByuN, he trades well for himself. Checking the trades here, you can see 8 Marines for 15 Lings and 1 queen. Not a bad trade here for ByuN. We can see Solar trying to catch him out, but ByuN, he kites well, and he punishes the Zerglings. The Lings are punished. We can see Solar trying to catch this out, and it looks like Solar, he will clean this up. Yeah, he will clean up the Marines. Oh, I spoke too soon. They're kiting a little bit too good. ByuN gets behind the mineral line. Oh, he tries to. Oh, barely gets in. Reinforcements have arrived as well. There's a Stim. And ByuN saves 3 Marines. Saves 3. He lost 18, but he killed 45 Zerglings and that 1 queen as well. So again, not the worst trades here from ByuN. Behind this, we have the follow-up. +1 is on the way. We have the add-on swap into medevacs and the 3rd CC as well. We're building up in towards a longer game. Now, what I will say is that I do believe that ByuN was hoping for more damage. ByuN was hoping for a little bit more. So Solar, he's able to survive. He's droning, he's saturating, getting his 4th base up and running, getting to his banelings. Solar, he holds. Again, there are worlds out there where ByuN could have just killed Solar, or at least maybe even reset the queen count, right? That would have been the ideal. Maybe not break into the base and not get into the middle line, but kill 3-4 queens plus all the Lings that he got. So, I mean, that's ideally what ByuN wanted. Does move in. Yeah, again, just applying pressure with his drops, establishing his 3rd base, and we're building up from here. In general, I do feel like Solar, he's gained map control. He's gained map control. Solar, he can freely drone up to 80 at this point. He can drone up to 80, take up into Hive, and take up into Ultras. That should be Solar's go-to while he keeps up with the drop play. And I don't really see ByuN stopping that from happening, outside of maybe turning this into a 3-base all-in. Currently, ByuN is on 5, soon to be, yeah, still just 5 Raxes. He's now landing his 3rd base, but this is a, 8-minute 3rd, so it's also a late 3rd base as well, because of how committed ByuN was. So ByuN in, I would say, a rough position here, but he has potential, of course. He has potential, but the likelihood of him getting damage is quite low. As he solely has his army ready on the right-hand side, he has a link towards the left. He can respond to drops. And he does respond. Marines, they move in. I mean, there are no Banelings here, so the Marines, they can actually trade quite well. Yeah, no Banelings in position. Marines, they get behind the middle line, and nice trades here by ByuN, trading very efficiently. Until he got the Banelings. Ooh. Does crazy army. That's what, 3-4 Marines going down. And the last ByuN, he was not paying attention. Neither were we. Yeah, ByuN, he had unloaded. And he lost the double drop. Yeah, massive loss there for ByuN. That should not have happened. So ByuN a little bit inattentive. ByuN moving in. Deflected. Hive is now done. We spoke about it again. Link Bane into Ultra. The Ultra Cavern is on the way. That is Solo's win condition, to get up into Ultras. And you can see that ByuN's not ready for it, right? ByuN, he doesn't have a Ghost Academy. He doesn't have Marauder production. He has Mass Marine with tanks. Like, Mass Marine tank. This does not trade well against Ultras. Solo, he's almost there. Catching up the army. So let's move back to the tanks. Ooh, and Solo, he commits. He does commit. That takes down 2 more tanks. And again, Solo, all he has to do is just buy time. Just buy time for the Ultras. Easier said than done. ByuN's still trying to force the issue. Here we go. We have 3 Ultras on the way. Solo, he's almost there. He's almost at the Ultras. Needs a little bit more time. ByuN sims in. Gets a queen. Trading well here. Gets a queen. Link Bane pushing forward. Oof. Yeah, Banelings are being targeted down, and nice tank shots. Don't go back in. Ooh, Queen's getting caught out. Queens, yeah, 3 Queens get caught. Aye, aye, aye. Here, ByuN kites back. He does avoid the Banelings for the most part. But the Ultras are revealed. And you can see here the power just swing in favor, or the momentum swing in favor of Solar. He's got the Ultras, and ByuN stuck at home. ByuN is stuck at home. As we mentioned before, no Ghosts, no Marauders. It's pure Marine tank. Which means ByuN has no presence on the map, which means Solar can freely max out. Now, he's still on a low drone count. He's still only on 70 workers, so we can afford to drone up a little bit further. He should drone up to 80. And from here, we can max out. And then start taking up into a Spire. And start working towards Spires, start working towards Corruptors, Anti-Air, or at least Infestors. ByuN, he cannot push out like this. Yeah, not like this. Not against Ultras. ByuN does pick up. I'll pick up out of ByuN. Marines out of position, tanks are exposed, and Solar, he breaks through. Solar, he has done it. He breaks the siege line, Solar's moving in, takes out all the tanks. And again, the 4 racks to open out of ByuN, it wasn't worth it. It wasn't worth it in the end. It set him behind. It made it so difficult to get into the mid game. There was some nice moments here for ByuN, but overall the build did set him behind. So ByuN just trying to be a little bit too cheeky. A little bit too cheeky here. I mean, I say that ByuN, he is sniping bases, right? Like, the drop play is on point. He does take down an expansion. 1 base goes down. But again, ByuN cannot fight head on. He can defend his natural, though. Yeah, the Mass Marine, the whole position SCVs. Solo, we gotta be careful. Be careful, Pat. Oh, Jesus, never mind. Yo, just swipes away. The Ultra just wants some hugs, Pappy. Just wants some hugs. And here comes the rally. Here come the reinforcements. There's that Spire that's on the way. Solar did lose some bases, of course. But he's lying the third and the fourth. And now he gets in. Gets into the natural. GG gets called. And Solar, he will take game number 1. He'll take a lead in the series. GG. Whew. GG, well played. Solar does take a lead. Again, ByuN, he did fall behind when it came to the opener. Winding it back, if you remember, ByuN, he went for a 2x gasless opener, 2x marine into 4x stim timing. And he did kill 1 queen. He killed 45 Zerglings, but did cost him most of his marines, and he did not do enough economic damage. Ideally, he did want either more drone kills or more queen snipes as well. He was unable to. It was though the Solar was able to stabilize, able to build up to 4 bases and tech up into ultras. And we saw how hard the momentum, the game swung in favor of Solar once he got those ultras up and running. And again, it's because ByuN, he was slowed down himself. He had a late 3rd base, late 4th base, late saturation, late gases, late transition, late scouts. Everything was delayed because of the initial opener and because of the lack of damage he was able to deal. But here we go. Now we're getting to game 2. Game 2 is going to be on Tokamak, and we'll see if ByuN can bounce back and force the ace match, or if Solar will claim it here and now. Let's go. Let us go. And spawning in the bottom hand corner of Tokamak, we have the South Korean Terran player. We have the Orange Terran. Oh, the Orange Terran himself. Representing Shopify, it is ByuN. And spawning in the top right hand corner, we have as opponent, we have the South Korean Zerg player. We have the Blue Zerg representing Team Falcons. It is Solar. Leading the series 1-0. Here we go as we get into that second game. Again, we're loading into Tokamak. Tokamak being one of the larger maps in the map, larger map, longer rushes and spike ground, more secure bases as well. We often do see longer and later games on this map, and this time ByuN opens up in a standard fashion. Depots on the high ground. CC first? Yeah, CC first. So greedy build here by ByuN. So not standard, but not as intense and not as chaotic as what we saw last game. Remember, last game was a 2x marine opener with gasless. Here, just straight up CC first. And because this map is so large, and because he's playing against Solar, it is safe to do so. Going CC first leaves you vulnerable against Roach-based builds and Roach-based follow-ups and Roach all-ins. If he was up against Rogue, if he was up against Shin, if he was up against Dark, then... shout out to Dark, by the way. But if he was up against a more aggressive Zerg player, then I would say that this is a risky maneuver. But against Solar, he isn't really one that often does react and respond and go for blind Roach all-ins and anything of that nature. So against Solar and against most standard Zerg players, I think it's quite safe to do this, especially on Tokamak. So ByuN does cut corners. Setting things up. But yeah, from here we're going to be opening up. We do have our standard follow-up here, just reaction to factory. The Overlord does of course confirm that the CC is already done, is aware of what has been going on. And again, because of the opener, no Reaper Scouts, right? There's no Reaper Scout. I believe there's no SCV Scout either. Yeah, no Reaper Scout, no SCV Scout. And you can see just how greedy this build is and how this build would be punished by something like an all-in, by something hyper-aggressive. But as I mentioned before, because it's Solar of all players, like Solar, there's not too much aggression in Solar, specifically in this matchup. I should emphasize that because we did harp on this last night when we cut to Solar in the Tuna Cup. Oh, as the Overlord barely gets away. On 5 HP, let's go, barely escapes. But we spoke about this last night. Solar, he goes for pure all-ins against Protoss. True, right? He does non-stop all-ins against Protoss on 2 bases, on 3 bases. But against Terran, Solar, he's much more standard in his approach. Much more macro in his approach. As from here, again, we are just getting into our openers. Solo, I mean, ByuN has a boosted economy, getting to a third CC into Banshee play as Cloak is in production. The follow-up here and the overall mid-game that we're working towards is pretty standard by ByuN, but he does have that boosted economy here. And oh, do you see what I see? Two eBays here before extra maxes. This is the first sign of hyper aggression, or I say that in general, this has been quite a greedy build. We're getting into early 1-1, which means earlier 2-2 timing. Typically, what I will say, I'll be a little bit transparent with my thought process, is whenever I see early 1-1 like this, it's typically indicative of an 8 racks. An 8 racks is a 3 base all-in where the Terran player does not take their gases at the 3rd base, and they get up to 8 racks, and they all-in with mass marine tank. So that's like immediately my mind goes to that with the early 2-2 timing. But just because of how greedy ByuN has been so far, this could just be a way to boost itself forward into a 4 base economy with 3-3 instead. I don't want to write that off for ByuN, but in my mind, there's still a very high chance that he does commit into a 3 base all-in. So we'll see. We'll see if he does take his gases. We'll see if ByuN works towards the gases and a 4th command center and a 2nd factory. So our eyes are on ByuN. As you can see, he throws down Jesus 4 racks. He throws down 4 racks. I'm leaning more and more towards an extra 3 racks being thrown down. Right now, we're up to 5. So 5 racks so far. And again, we're expecting another 3. Another 3 here, say either in this location or here at the natural with no add-ons. That's what we're looking out for. As we have 2 Banshees moving out. 2 Banshees, of course, they can one-shot workers. They head in towards the 3rd. Catching out a couple of drones. So far, 2 drones going down. Hive is on the way. Solar opening up roaches into Hive Tech. And do you see what I see? 2nd factory. We are macroing up. So ByuN, he's not throwing down 3 extra maxes. He's not going for a 2-2 timing. ByuN, that factory is indicative that we're looking to take extra gases and get a 4th CC. That's typically what a 2nd factory entails. Aliens, they threaten to dive. Do threaten, roaches are revealed, they shut down the Hellions, they force them back. 5 drone kills though, not bad. 5 workers going down in total. As I mentioned, yep, there are the gases, so we should be expanding and building up into a more standard mid to late game. Let's go. Now, because we're building up to a mid to late game, on the one hand, yes, Solar, he does get away, and there's a 4CC, I mean, as to be expected, just because we saw the setup earlier. When it comes to Solar's setup himself, though, he will get a Hive, he will get his Infestation, his Hive Tech, his Hive Upgrades, and his Ultra Tech. So Solar, he will freely get into Ultras, but the difference between this game and the previous one is because the gases, because of the factory, because of all the setup that we have here, ByuN has an easier transition into Ghosts, into a more ideal army against Ultras. There's the Ultra Cavern, but again, ByuN is going to be better prepared for that. ByuN does move out though. Does move out. We'll apply some pressure here, trading with the roaches. Tanks on siege. You can see Solar trying to attempting us around. Oh, got it! Biles do connect though. That should not have happened. Biles, they shut down the Marines, and Solar, he holds. I mean, he was always going to, but he trades very nicely as ByuN took some Biles to the face. A little bit uncharacteristic there. Does save to the face, and that means that Solar, he isn't just getting into Ultras, but he's actually getting into this in a quite comfortable position. He's looking very comfortable. ByuN, you can see plummeted in supply, like that move out, that was not it. He bled out too much. Solar, he's about to max out, and Solar, he might just be able to end the game. Solar's reaching that 200 supply. Now, what I will say is that thankfully, because of the map, because we're on Tokamak, this map, it's easier to defend on 4 bases. The 4 base setup here is pretty secure, so even though Solar's max, the soup does lie. We bring it up all the time. The soup is lying right now. Yes, Solar, he's at 200. Yes, he's up 40 supply. But his army supply is inflated because of the roaches. And the defender's advantage is greater on this map. So that makes up for some supply as well. Assuming that ByuN fights, using these ramps and fights back at home. So ByuN is catching up. He's catching up. Ideally, Solo wants to get rid of these roaches. Right now, the roaches are hurting Solo more than helping. ByuN does catch a Viper. And one Viper goes down. Keeps on chasing. Oh, as a full medevac goes down as well. That's big of Solar. Gets full med. Oh, jeez, almost gets another. Ghost production has begun. So ByuN is getting a fifth, at least attempting to. Shatters to the changelings. Medevac goes down. Solar, he defends. But ByuN, he's maxing out himself. And again, he has a higher Marauder count, Ghost count, tank positioning. The game will slow down, and Solar has to refine his army. Right now, Solar doesn't really have the best setup to break a position like this. He does rush forward. Ling's gonna be cleaned up. Snipes hopping up. Does bar down one of the tanks at least. But again, ByuN holds. ByuN holds, ByuN expands. Again, Solar, he does want to bleed off some of this army to actually refine his forces and go in towards more Ultras, Infestors, Spellcasters, and potentially eventually into Broodlords. Depends how long this game goes. And it could last a while. Meanwhile, as Solar's taking up, ByuN also taking up as well. Starport. Starport's on the way. Fusion Core. Snipes, Jesus, they do punish those Ultras. A lot of Ultras go down. Snipes, they just keep popping up. Down to 2 Ultras. Down to 2, down to 1. Ultras, they do catch a couple of Ghosts here. Nice trades here on top of the ramp. As the Bio Army's exposed. Force the kite back, but overall, ByuN, he will hold. He'll hold, he'll defend. A much more efficient fight here for ByuN. Ooh, Mind Shot's going up. And ByuN should be able to save the Planetary. Yeah, Planetary is up and running. Now, what's important here is the remax. So Solar, he's remaxing on more Ultras and a couple of Infestors. The Infestors will help. What's the Viper count looking like? Just one. One Viper. It's not with the main army. Vipers can help break siege lines, but as you can see here, we don't really have a siege line. There's only one tank in this game, only one tank. This is where Infestors are more crucial. Infestors and burrow, to land those fungals, to lock down the ghosts, and to collapse on the army. But fighting head-on like this, it's going to be difficult. Oh, snipes going up. Ghosts are exposed. Yeah, ByuN, he was caught with his pants down. Mine just going off, nice connections. Mine's a punish. Academy is gonna go down eventually. Jeez, barely not. Academy survives, gets 10 SCVs. The workers don't really matter too much. ByuN has mules. And ByuN once again does hold on. You can see the insta remax. Like Solar, his goal here is to break. Is to just break ByuN. Is to try to overwhelm and just break through the defense over time, whittle away at those defenses, and eventually push into the natural, push into the main. It's very much so a brute force style. There's very little finesse here. Oof. As Solar just wants to end the game. Ultra goes down. That was the final Ultra. We have more Ultras on the way. At the same time, Solo, he does deny the sixth. Does delay the 6th base. The planetary is still not fully operational. Ooh, as ByuN is distracted, big rotation. It rotates over, thankfully does leave half his army to defend. Snipes popping up. But the Ghost, they need support. They do need more support here. Barely takes down the Ultra. Nice power bomb. ByuN does split, snipes the Viper. And ByuN is defending, but what does he lose? He lost a couple of he lost a couple of Ghosts, he lost Marauders, he lost 11 SCVs. His 6th base is still denied. And we're just gonna keep going. Again, you're just gonna keep reinforcing it. Over time, ByuN will be broken, or at least that's the hope. Just apply enough pressure, and eventually ByuN will break. That's the plan. 17 SCVs. 17 workers do full. That one Ravager denying mining. The one Ravager has 6 SCV kills. Oh. Solo remaxing, this time with a handful of Corruptors. The Greater Spire is not done. Congo's connect, not bad. Ooh, grazes the army. Catching a couple of key units. Meanwhile, it's going to be 21 SCV kills. SCVs. Oh. That's it, 21, 34 SCVs going down. And Solar, he's getting a bit out of hand here. He's now taking down bases. Yeah, bases are falling, planetaries are falling, CC on the left-hand side as well. And this means that ByuN, he doesn't have a bank. ByuN, he's unable to keep up and build up a bank here. If ByuN can't secure these bases, then that will be game. That will just be game. Oh. Mine just going up. So we're just not stopping. So ByuN rotates back and forth, does catch a Liberator. Picks up some free Widow Mines, army's out of position. Snipes are coming in, but the Ghosts are exposed. They crash on forward. Oh my god, they take down a lot of Ghosts with them as well. That's a solid, what, 6, 7, 8 Ghosts falling. And at this point, Solo's done it. At this point, he has finally done it. This was like wave 6. but hey, he breaks the expansion, gets 17 more SCVs, and ByuN, he doesn't really have much of an economy left. He's down to 49 workers. Mules are a thing, true, but even then, mules, they can't carry too much. More workers going down. And ByuN is running out of money. He's running out of money. He's running out of steam. He was unable to secure himself on 5 bases, on 6 bases, I should say. There was some really rough rotations for ByuN, for sure, where he overreacted or underreacted. So ByuN had a hard time splitting. You could also argue that he had made too many Ghosts, considering it was honestly a relatively low Ultra count. For a long time, solely he was remaxing with more Lingbane Roach more than anything. So too many Ghosts. Not enough support. And Solar, he's going in for the kill at this point. Things from the left, main army on the right. Breaks through the CC, once again denies the gold, kills the command center. ByuN, he has finally established his base. You could definitely argue that ByuN could have gone for this linear base earlier instead, but he was so adamant about securing the gold base first, and the gold never really got up and running. We never really saw ByuN prioritize expanding here, and now it's up and running, but this is late. This is very late here. This could have been done earlier instead of the gold. Nice popping up. So that was maybe a little bit of stubbornness out of ByuN. But also, I mean, Solar, he was so relentless. He was so relentless with his pressure. Barely giving ByuN time to breathe and time to think. As GG gets called, ByuN, he has nothing remaining, and Solar, he will claim the series 2-0, getting his revenge from this morning and advancing on to the semis. GG. Whew. GG, well played. Solar, he does claim the series. Again, ByuN, this time he had a bit of a better start coming into game 2, but as we were mentioning, his end goal was to build up in towards the mid to late game. It did look like he was maybe tunnel visioning a little bit too much when it came to claiming that goal base, just because it never got up and running, right? Like, that was the wing condition for Solar, was make sure that the goal base and the base on the right hand side just never really got up and running, never got saturated, and over time ByuN did run out of resources. He ran out of money. GG. GG, well played. With that, congratulations to Solar, as he does claim it, and let's catch up on the bracket. We were engrossed in our series, quite a long one. What's been going on? What has been going on? Okay, oh geez, that was a fast one. Remember, we started when Rogue and Hearthstone was still mid-series in game 2. they were still locked into game 2. So Classic takes down Rogue 2-0. That was a really fast 2-0 for Classic. Jesus, really fast matches, really fast games. Classic already in the semis. herO's up against Percival. Percival takes down Shin. Yo, that's a big upset. That's a big upset there. Shin goes down to Percival. herO versus Percival currently ongoing. Currently mid-series. Winner goes up against Classic. Meanwhile, we have Max Max versus Creator. Creator's with mana, and we have non-stop PvPs into Solar. So we're nearing the tail end of the broadcast, kind of. I say kind of. For this tournament, they sometimes do hold semis to cast both. So we might cast both semifinals, so there's still potentially more matches ahead. Meanwhile, we have to figure out where we're headed next. Where is LiuLi? Where is Saber? What's he casting? Let's have a look. LiuLi is out of game. Where are the other big boys? Wardy's out of game. Rotterdam's out. Is everyone out of game? Where's el chanchito? ¿A dónde está el chanchito? Because I believe Pig is casting as well, right? Am I crazy? Is he not? I swear Pig was live earlier. Or at least I saw him in game. Did he turn off the stream? Okay, yeah, Pig, he said that he was too hungry. Yeah. He was like, you know what, guys, I want to go get some food. Look at este chanchito. So it looks like he did end the stream. Red boy enough. Yeah. Looks like he got some food. And we just got an update. herO takes down Percival 2-0, and we have herO versus Classic about to begin. Meanwhile, Max Max and Creator still mid-series. We also just got confirmation here that both semifinals will be played at the same time. So we can choose one of two things. Either we jump into herO versus Classic, and we're gonna cast that and then follow that, or we could wait for Solar series to open up. And I mean, so there's some pros and cons, of course. You could argue that the ZVP series is more exciting. I think I would agree with that, ZVP. But at the same time, there's a very high chance that herO versus Classic is going to be a short series. Honestly, there's a very high chance that's going to be like a 15-minute best of 3 that goes to the ace match. Like that could be a fast one. So I think there's a good chance that we can cast herO Classic and still catch a good chunk of solo series as well. So that's the plan. That is the plan. We will jump into herO Classic. Vitas are underway. ByuN is organizing a mountain fellowship. He is. He's been slowly indoctrinating people over time. Getting them all in to the mountain club. True. Oh. But here we go. So just need a moment to set up. We're going to be going on a short break. Going to be going on a very short break. Again, Vitas are underway, so it shouldn't be too long. And when we come back, never mind. It's going to cut to a break, but we already have our first lobby. Okay, so we have our lobby, we have our series. It's going to be herO versus Classic in our best of 3 PvP, and game 1 is going to be on Incorporeal. Let's go. Okay, we're all good. So just setting up and getting things ready here for our semifinals. So we've made it to the semifinals of LiuLi Cup. Just double checking, but I believe the semifinals are best of 3s. Let me just double check. Yes, they are going to be best of 3s, and here we go. We're jumping in and spawning in the bottom right hand corner of Incorporeal. We have the South Korean Protoss player. We have the red Protoss representing himself, currently teamless. It is a herO. And spawning in the top left hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the other South Korean Protoss player. We have the blue Protoss for Virtus Pro. It is a Classic. Here we go. And if you're in the chat, you know what time it is. It is Gamba time. Predictions are open. Place your bets on who you think will claim the series. Best of luck in the chats as we get into our fresh best of 3. Hold on. Predictions are a little bit broken. Did predictions not play out last game? Last series? Hold on. Try to fix it up. Un momento. They were paid out. There we go. Not coming. Now it's Gamba time, Bobby. It's Gamba time. Let's go. We have our PvP. Now, when it comes to Classic and herO, I love casting the two of them just because they are very in each other's faces. They're very in each other's faces. Very much so just hyper aggression. Classic is known for one thing and one thing only, one base all-ins. Proxy Robot one base all-in is very trendy in PvP, at least from a Classic side of things. I'm sure we'll see it at least once in this series, but do we see it more than once? The problem is that herO is very familiar with Classic. If herO scouts Classic going for a hidden pylon, then herO will respond with a robot. Meanwhile, second pylon in the main base for Classic, second pylon hidden in the main base for herO. But fun fact, despite this cheeky start from herO, and despite what Classic is doing, no probe scout from Classic, and no probe scout from herO. No scouting at all. I mean, now we do move out with our probes. We should be checking nearby locations there. You can see here they're checking, but again, they're both playing blind. They're both very, very blind here. They're going to be following up with sentries, of course, with hallucinations, with some scouting later on, but there was no probe scouts, so if there was a proxy, if there was an all-in, neither player would be aware. Like, we are metagaming hard right now. And it's working. So both players are opening up economically, and both players get away with it, and both players will confirm. So a lot of mind games here between Classic and herO. In the end, we end up in the same place. And now herO confirms, and so does Classic. From here, we are going to be settling in. We do have just non-stop hallucination scouts, and so far everything's standard. 2-gate opener into expansion, Twilight Council with Blink from a Classic as well. We have more or less mirrored builds, which is mirroring each other. Now, based on the trajectory of this game so far, we might end up in a standard mid-game. We'll see. From right now, we have a choice to make. Do we expand? The answer is yes. Classic is going for a faster third base, so does herO's. Yep. Both players expand only on 2 gateways, so 2-gate blink into a third, 2-gate blink into a third. Very economic builds out of our players. We have some pressure here by Classic as being active, but only really just gaining map control, map vision. Both players need to confirm that there are expansions, and herO, he will get eyes on the third of Classic, and Classic will get eyes on the third of herO. So both players just doubling down on their economy, and both players confirm that they're safe. Now from here, we'll see how we tech up. Do we go Blink into Charge, into Immortal production, into Archon production as well? Or does either one of our players go for a second Forge, for example, Mass Blink Stalker, and avoid teching up? That's the plan. I mean, you don't even need a second Forge to do so, to be fair. Classic is rotating. +1 is on the way for herO, +1 should soon be on the way for Classic. Adeptus Shaded, very nice. Adeptus Shaded into the natural base. herO, he was not paying attention, neither were we, to be fair. That's gonna be 5 dead workers, and we're still not done. Getting up to 677? Oh, getting it one more. Uno más. Not quite. Yeah, barely. Not the probe does get away, does survive, but 6 probes do fall. Very nice damage, and Classic takes the lead. Classic takes the lead. herO behind this is settling in, trying to recover. Robo's on the way. Again, very late Robo, by the way. If we had like a DT, an earlier Twilight Council to Dark Shrine, then that could have dealt so much damage. But again, Robos have been delayed up until this moment, which is more common if we're playing economic and standard, or just economic, I should say. And both players are taking. We have Charge on the way for herO. We have Immortals in production for a Classic. Temple Archives as well. That's going to be for Archon production. The one thing the Classic is missing is Charge. I'm a little bit surprised, but he's opting to delay Charge in favor of Archons. Meanwhile, herO delays Archons in favor of Charge. So we have a slight variation here. And also, of course, Classic maintaining the greater economy. Has been up by 5 workers this entire time. Is getting another expansion. And I do give Classic the edge coming into the mid game. Classic is going to be rotating. Does Classic... I just realized something. So we pointed out that Classic, he delayed charge in favor of Archons. Does he notice that he doesn't have charge? He has money. No, it's happened before. This is not the first time. In the past week of play, this is the second time this has happened here for Classic. We forgot charge. Yeah, no charge. Again, he has the money for it. He has the money, but the slow lots are coming in. And the slow lots are going to be slow. They're going to be slow, Matthew, as they're waddling forward. Meanwhile, the Archons get surrounded. herO takes a better fight. He shuts down all the Zealots. We see Zealots are still struggling to engage. And herO, he will overwhelm. Breaks through the Zealots, breaks through the Archons, gets on top of the Immortals. Prism goes down, denies the warp in, and herO, he should clean this up. Getting on top of those key Immortals. That was 4 Immortals getting sniped. GG gets called, and herO, he overwhelms. Charge began at the end of the game. Smurge. And herO takes game number 1. Aye. GG. GG, well played. I don't know what it is, but again, that's not the first time this has happened for Classic, where he just completely forgets charge. Charge was never researched, and that was impactful for that final fight. Zealots... Okay, so winding it back here, the goal, the role of Zealots in PvP is to tank, is to be on the front lines, to tank for your army, to tank for your Immortals, to tank for your Archons, tank for everything else. That wasn't there. That didn't happen. Like the Zealots, they were behind the high-tech units. Instead, it was the high-tech units that were tanking for the Zealots instead, because they were just having a really hard time moving in. So just a really rough engage there for Classic. On top of that, he was out of position, as herO was able to rotate and hit the base first and get into position on the high ground. So was out of position, was lacking in the army, was lacking in the tech, unfortunately, was unintentional. Again, Classic, he had plenty of money for it, but did sit by, and just a really rough fight. GG, well played. herO takes a lead. Pat. And now we're getting into game number 2. And we'll see if Classic can tighten things up here. Can we tighten up? As spawning in the bottom right hand corner of Maganatha, we have the South Korean Protoss player. We have the Red Protoss leading the series 1-0 after a relatively tame until explosive end to that last game. It is herO. And spawning in the top left hand corner, we have as opponent, we have the South Korean Protoss player. We have the Blue Protoss representing Virtus Pro down in the series, again looking quite solid for most of last game. He was ahead in workers, ahead in economy. He had a nice setup, but got a couple of things out of position at the wrong moment. Can he bring it back? It is a Classic. Can we force the ace match? Let's go. So we do have our initial openers. So 2 gate open out of Classic. Meanwhile, herO gate expand or gate cyber into a faster Nexus. Greedy build out of herO. And this time, Classic does not probe scout just like last game, but he does have a hidden pylon, does have a hidden probe. And we'll see if we commit to a 1 base all in. Now, based on this pylon location, it is far away. It is quite far away. It's in the corner of the map. This feels like more of a proxy Stargate. If we commit to a proxy at all, a Stargate would make the most sense here. A Robo, it would just take a really long time for the Immortal to reinforce. So, again, lower chance that we're going to commit into a 1 base all in, which will favor herO, because herO is being greedy. herO is being very greedy here. Probe Scout will confirm the Nexus already on the way. Classic, he sees the base, sees the Nexus. At the end, Classic is stuck on 1 base himself. So herO will take a lead. herO, he does skirt around the edge of the map, and he finds the pylon. Does find the pylon, is aware that it's a fake proxy pylon as well. herO knows. And this is a rough position for Classic. He commits into a Stargate back at home. So Stargate opener at a Classic. Now, this is a way to catch up. With a Stargate opener, this is designed to get into Oracles, to harass across the map, to get some worker damage, to make up for the late expansion. So yes, Classic will have a late natural base, but he might catch up in workers because of the oracles. That's the hope, at least. Meanwhile, herO knows that there's no one base all incoming, but herO has not scattered the main. He does not know whether or not there is a Robo, Stargate, or Twilight Council on the way. So herO, he still has to piece it all together. Gotta figure it out. As the episode do shade in, they get one. One probe goes down. Just the one as the episode being dealt with. Gets a second probe. Oracles are moving out. herO, still no scout. No hallucination. Here he's distracted by the adepts. The main base is completely exposed. No shield battery, no army units in position. Again, herO never scouted. He has a sentry. But he did not hallucinate. So greedy play here by herO. Thankfully, the Oracle hits the natural, not the main, but damage will still be done. And that does shade in. And this is only 2 probe kills. Again, imagine if we hit the main base instead. The main base was so much more exposed. Oh no! And the Oracle takes a lot of hits, takes a lot of hull damage. The Oracle barely gets away. But that was so fortunate for herO. Again, if the Oracle hit the main base, so much more damage would have been done. herO, he commits to the counterattack. He warps in defensive stalkers. Again, now he knows. Now he's aware that oracles are out on the map. And Classic should defend. He's got the shield battery. He's got the battery. Should be fine. He can one-shot probes. He gets one. Just the one. Ooh, herO coming in with the interception. He's hunting for the oracles. Hallucination confirms the Twilight Council. Speaking of tech, herO, where is our tech? As herO has the money for it. 200, 200. 300 even. And there it is. So it is late. So late tech out of herO, but he does throw down the Robo. Interesting. Does go for the Robo, is going to get into Immortal production. This does make sense. Basically, because herO is so far behind when it comes to Blink, it's not worth getting into your own Blink Stalkers. Instead, time to get into Immortal production. So even though herO will have no Blink, even though he'll have a smaller Stalker army, he will have Immortals to make up for that. So Immortals are on the way. Once again, does attempt to intercept. Gets a couple of shots off, but the Oracle will back off and make it back home. Blink is almost done. A Classic, he will gain map control, he'll gain momentum. He's moving out. Does move out. And Upstate do shade into the main. Stalkers in position. I'd have to say, do get some decent damage though, getting 5 probes. 5 workers go down. Classic is expanding. herO is not. herO, what are we going for here? Going into Blink, not Glaives. Ooh. Which means herO should be looking to expand as well. We'll see. That's being cleaned up. Classic does move out. herO is still stuck on 2 bases. Again, he can't expand. If he tried to, he would lose it. Would lose the base. He's just stuck. He's just contained. Throws down 2 more gates. Getting up to a 5-gate setup. Getting up to 6 gateways. This is looking more and more like a 2-base all-in. But Classic knows. Classic, he hasn't seen the gateways, but he sees no expansion. He sees no 3rd base. So all Classic has to do is just be safe. Just be safe. Saturate your 3rd base a little bit, but not too much. And get ready for what comes next. Oh, here we're getting desperate, going for the Dark Shrine. Brutal moment here for herO. I mean, there are oracles or revelations. Classic does have forms of detection. He rotates, and again, Classic should deny the base. 1, 2, 3 volleys go up. There's a cancellation. Oh! Station trap doesn't quite go off. Gets caught out. Behind this, is there a robo? No robo. Okay, so DTs can do damage here because Classic, yes, he does have oracles, and quickly checking, he has one. So 1 oracle currently on the map. Defensive cannons. I was gonna say the revelations are quite limited, and there's no robo, which means there's no detection, there's no observer, there's no permanent detection. But now we have cannons. We have 1 cannon here at the 3rd location. There's no cannon in the natural, there's no cannon in the main, so there's still ways to get damage. Here come the first wave. DTs is away into the natural. The 3rd is not where he wants to hit though. That's the only place where there is a cannon. But the cannon is forward, so technically herO might snipe it. They're going straight for the cannon. Oof. Yeah, straight for the cannon. 1, 2 DTs go down. DTs, they do 0 damage. Again, that was just a little bit of RNG in the sense that herO, he could have hit the natural, could have gone for the main base. There was nothing to stop him. Happened to go for the... Oh no! He blinks him! Yeah! Brutal blink! Not like this, Papi, not like this. And remember, blink is on cooldown. So Classic can respond. He can just sit on the army. Yeah, blinks forward. Blinks forward, coming in for the surround. And we force a recall. He gets 1, 2, 3, 4. Jesus, that was 4 or 5 stalkers falling. And Classic is on the chase. Here he will lose everything. Every immortal is being hunted down. There's no support. Losing 2 immortals already. And this time Classic gets charged. Yeah, 3rd immortal goes down. Classic, he snowballs out of control. There's nothing to stop him. There's no cannons, no shield batteries, no immortals, no defensive setup. No nothing. Links in. And we're looking to force the ace match. We're going to the ace match. We're going to game 3. GG gets called and Classic ties the series up. We're going to that 3rd game. Let's go. Let us go. We have a back and forth. Again, herO, he was contained for so long on 2 bases. There were opportunities for him though, of course. DTs had a lot of potential. They had a lot of potential damage. But last, as we saw the DTs, they went straight for the cannon. So they went down instantly. Likewise, herO, he had such a late 3rd expansion, just such a late 3rd base. Oh, just making sure we have everyone. Just making sure. Beautiful. But late 3rd base, and he was forced essentially into an all-in, and then the stasis trap just sealed the deal there. That was the cherry on top for Classic to catch out all the immortals and to surround the army. And with that, we're going all the way to that final game. And spawning in the top left-hand corner here of Pylon, we have the South Green Protoss player. We have the Red Protoss representing himself, currently teamless, being forced into the ace match. Can he bring it back? It is a herO. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have his opponents. We have the Blue Protoss player. We have the Blue Protoss himself, representing Virtus Pro from South Korea. It is Classic. El Clásico. Classic. Here we go. Once again, we had quite an intense game 2. A little more high octane compared to game 1. Like game 1 was very passive, very slow. But now we're getting into Pylon. Coming into Pylon here, a smaller map, a shorter rush distance by ground, aggression is favored. We haven't seen too much early game aggression out of our players yet in this series, but that might all change as we load into Pylon. Hello, probe. As herO moves out early on. This is the earliest move out we've seen so far to herO this entire series. This is a prime location. Classic scouts. Classic scouts. He sees the probe. They spot each other. herO, he was setting up for a proxy robo. Classic as well is also working in this direction. So with that, they do stop each other. And that means that we might just go into a standard game. Just go for a standard game from here. Ay, ay, ay. As herO, he does pylon block. Behind this, it was just a Stalker Sentry opener. Likewise, ooh, double adept out of herO. Okay, much more aggressive. Double adept into Stargate, into a third and fourth adept as well. Most likely into a fifth and sixth. So we do have a much more aggressive start by herO. herO is still expanding, but the goal here is for economic damage. We'll see if Classic can keep up. So far, he is catching out the adepts. They do threaten a shade. Do threaten. Stargate's almost done. Checking Classic's vision, he did not scout the Stargate. I believe Classic did have the Oracle, sorry, the Sentry though. Yeah, Sentry's with the main army, has plenty of energy. Classic, he has the energy. There's the Hallucinate Stalkers, he's going for a frontal push instead. I mean, this can work. We have 4 adepts across the map, which means there's nothing at home. Only adepts. Only adepts. They don't trade well against Stalkers. Yeah, Stalkers, they just walk in. They walk in. There's a recall back home. herO, he's in danger. The pylon is going to go down. One more volley. He gets it. Pylon falls. No production. But he has 6 adepts. He has 6 adepts. He gets 1 Stalker. Meanwhile, we're hoping that the hallucinations do tank some shots. Dives on the Sentry. Sentry does go down. Here comes that Oracle into the main. Main base is exposed. Yeah, he's going for the main base. Nothing at home to defend. Dark Shrine's on the way. And we're getting rowdy. Yeah, Dark Shrine forced to be cancelled. 0 detection. Oh, sorry. 0 detection? I mean, there would be no detection, but there's no DTs. Sentries, they do deflect, and 9 probe kills, and Classic denied any kind of mining here is 0 economy. herO takes the lead. herO takes the lead, makes another Oracle, Void Ray production behind this. Void Rays, they have their place in PvP to be defensive. They're not as good as Immortals defensively, but they have their place, they have their role. It's not ideal, but hey, work with what you got. And we'll see if herO can survive. Because here he is ahead. He's ahead in workers. The Winged Engineers just live. Just live, baby. Going for the stasis. Oh no, he comes back. He comes back too soon. Stasis goes off. Massive connection. Probes get caught out. And it's all or nothing with Classic has to end the game here and now. So we have an energy overcharge. There it is. Does overcharge. Void Ray has arrived. Picks up a Sentry. Picks up another. GG gets called. Classic cannot all in, does not have the momentum, does not have the army, and herO will take the series 2-1. GG. Whew. GG, well played. GG, well played here as Classic, sorry, as herO does claim the series, does advance on. Again, Classic was just torn apart. I mean, there was so much, I should say, incomplete information for both players. We were playing very, very blind, very risky. Again, Classic had no idea that there was a Stargate. He had no idea that there were Oracles. He was doing some nice damage with his Stalkers, who was trading, but he had nothing at home to defend the Oracles. They crippled the economy, and herO, he was ready just in time. GG. GG, well played. Congratulations. herO, he will claim the series. He'll advance on to the grand finals. And the question becomes, where are we headed next? What's going on? Exclamation mark and be in the chat to have a look back yourselves. Oh. As let's head on over to the Americas server. MaxPax takes down Creator 2-1, and we have Solar versus MaxPax in the upper semifinals. Question becomes, are they in game 1, game 2, or game 3? I believe Wardy is in that series.
waited for a game and and everything else came around. So.
Oh, they're out of game. I still don't know what game. I don't know what the score is, but looks like they just got out of game. They just got out. And I think they're mid-series. I believe they are mid-series. If anyone was multi-streaming, then or just watching, would love to know what occurred in that game. As we are getting into our second semis. Here we go. MaxPax and Solar. I believe they're in game 2 or game 3. I might just have to keep an eye on like Rex's stream to figure out what's going on to see what score they put on the screen. For now though, we have a game. We have a series in spawning in the right-hand corner of torches. We have the South Korean Zerg player. We have the blue Zerg. Let's go! Shout out to Rex back. Let's go. In the top right-hand corner, we have our South Korean Zerg player. We have the blue Zerg representing Team Falcons. Leading the series apparently 1-0. It is a Solar. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have the Danish Protoss player. We have the red Protoss representing Storm Gaming. It is MaxPax. And again, herO is waiting for the winner of this series in the grand finals. Who will it be? Who will it be? Will it be a Protoss? Will it be a Zerg? We're here to find out. If you're in the chat, predictions are now open. Place your bets on who you think will claim the series. Best of luck in the chat as we get into our second game. And oh my god, herO. My eyes were in the chat. But Solar, he does move out. He does claim the center base. Again, welcome to Torches. Torches is known for all-ins, known for hyper-aggression, known for these center gold bases. And Solar, he does not hold back. He rushes into the gold. Now the question is, MaxPax, how does he respond? He does scout, and does he respond with a forge? We have seen a lot of the Korean Protoss players react to this with a pylon, with a forge, with a cannon rush. MaxPax, though, I don't know if he's one to do the same. He will pull back. He pulls back, he also expands, so he at least scouts, he's at least aware of what's going on. He's aware of the gold. This is also why this map is often vetoed, but hey, not here. Not here, not in this series. We'll see how MaxPax does handle this. From here, Solar, he is link flooding. He's just going all in. Solar's cutting workers at 20 workers. He pulls out of gas. Link speed is on the way. Links are amassing, and it's going to be an all-in here out of Solar, all or nothing. Again, I'm shocked to see that MaxPax allowed this base through the veto process. And the probe will confirm, and he does have an adept in position, but there's just so much wall to work with here to cover. The wall does open up. Wall's open. We'll see if MaxPax can. Well, he does wall up. Nice moves. Does wall off with a pylon. The drone is here to mineral walk. Oh, actually opening up another side. Adept does barely get away. Barely gets away. Another drone moves in. Can he mine? Oh my god, he cannot. He cannot mine through the wall. Very close, very clutch. We have another drone moving in, but again, already a massive delay. Drone gets one shots, and we just have to keep one-shotting. Just keep one-shotting those workers. Once again, drone goes down. But the pylon does fall. Links are flooding in. The wall has been broken. Breaks through the front door. Does catch the Adept. Shield Battery is done. Oh, and Link Speed does kick in. Oh, the Oracle is out just in time. And so far, MaxPax is holding. He's holding well. He defends the main. More shield batteries on the way. Lings, they attempt to surround, but that's what the Oracle's for. As they rotate towards the main base, queens are exposed. One queen is going to get picked up. And Lings, they're just not really getting much damage here. Yeah, the queen's full. MaxPax holds. There's no more damage. there's no breaking this setup. No, not like this. Not like this. Lings are trickling in, but GG gets called, and MaxPax ties up the series. We are going to the ace match. Ooh, GG. So crucial that MaxPax was able to snipe those workers. Remember, the wall lasted longer than it should have, thanks to the Adepts. The Adepts, they did a great job buying time, focusing down those drones, just ensuring that Solar could not actually break through for as long as possible. That bought enough time for the Oracle, bought enough time for the shield batteries, bought enough time for the defense. GG. Very impressive, very chaotic defense, but in the end, MaxPax does hold. And now we're going to the ace match. We're going to the ace match here. Going all the way to game 3. Here we go. Oh, este Miguelito. Buenos días, Pat. Buenos días. Este Miguelito. As spawning in the top left-hand corner of Pylon, we have our South Korean Zerg player. We have our South Korean Zerg player. We have the blue Zerg representing Team Falcons. It is Solar. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the Danish Protoss player, the red Protoss representing Sidestorm Gaming. It is MaxPax. I know, yes. Here we go. And we've made it. We've made our way all the way to the ace match. It all ends here. It all ends on Pylon. And we'll see what Solar has up his sleeve. Now, something that we mentioned previously in the broadcast, but we didn't really get to touch on in this series, is Solar, he does one thing and one thing only in ZVP. And that is all in. That is all in. 2 base all-ins, 3 base all-ins. Solar, he is hyper aggressive in this matchup. Now, we did miss game 1. We didn't get to see what happened. We didn't really get to see what build did transpire. I can assume that Solar went for the all-in and was able to catch MaxPax with his pants down, but I can't say for certain. Just maybe like 80% sure that there was an all-in of some kind. Here as well into Pylon, all-ins are also favored here. Short rushes and spy ground. We have seen a lot of German taxis and roach-based all-ins on this map over the past couple of months, and we'll see if that trend continues here as well. Now, what I will say is that if Solar did go for an all-in game 1, then MaxPax, I mean, I'm sure he's acclimating to Solar. Over the course of this series, safe play, defensive play should be the go-to here for MaxPax, and that's what he's known for to begin with. So we'll see what builds our players go for. We'll see where we head. Likewise, we could even see some greed out of Solar, try to make things look more aggressive than they are. Then deviate, take gases, drone up, and try to rush into further tech. We'll see where he takes us. And plat level games are always +5 base all-ins. Ah. SMH my hedge. Este ahí está. Este ahí está. Ay. As of now, Stargate. Stargate opener out of MaxPax, everything looking as it should. Just opens up Stargate into a third base, Oracle, into Forge and +1. Sorry, into +1 and Blink. Is what we expect. Overlord is in position for a scout, just in case we saw something more quirky out of MaxPax. And Solar, he pulls out a gas. Oh, is it up to do pick in? 5 base all ins, not all in. I mean, I'm sure we could find one. I mean, 4 base all ins are a thing, true. I mean, a quote-unquote 4 base all in. Like, technically a 4 base all in is when a Zerg player drones up to only 3 bases and they just use the 4th base for larva. Technically, you'd call it a 3 base all in. But there is a 4th. From here, 2 drones do go down. We have our early Evo chamber. Early Evo chamber is indicative of +1 melee. So far it looks like Solar might cut some corners here with +1 melee. We typically do delay and skip roaches. Oh, as oracles, they do find some transferring workers. Not bad. 3 drones go down. 3 drones do go down. There's that follow-up. Twilight Council and Forge. +1 on Blink. Everything so far looking normal. Our eyes are still mainly on Soul to see when he does cut workers, if at all, and what tech he goes for as well. There's a melee upgrade, which, again, to be expected with the earlier Evo chamber. Is melee. So Maxfax does threaten to dive, does commit. Yeah, commits into Shade, drone's going to be going down, and Tordep say one-shot workers. And Solar, he was out of position. Yeah, nice trades here from Maxfax. He got more Zerglings. 4th base is going to be denied. And he finds more damage in the main. 6 drone kills. Oh my god. This is getting out of hand. This is getting out of hand here. 6 workers do go down. That's in addition to the worker kills from earlier. 11 drone kills in total. Oracle keeps going in. No Spore. No Spore at the 3rd base. Sola being greedy. Cutting corners. Still losing more workers. And Maxfax back at him. He's just chilling. At home, building up his stalkers, working towards Storm. And this is a rough start so far for Solar. He's redroning, resaturating. He's taking all of his gases as well, getting up to 5 gases. Looks like he doesn't take up any further either. Baneliness, no Roach Warren. It looks like Ling Bane Hydra out of Solar. Looks like a pretty standard setup here. There it is. There's that Hydra Den. But the problem with this standard setup is that everything is delayed because of the economic damage. So in general, Maxfax is favored. By the time that Solar really has any semblance of a Hydra army, Storm is going to be done. Storm will be done in time, and Maxfax will be ready for it. Still no Spore, by the way. Yeah, still no Spore. That's going to be another 4 or 5 drone kills. Oh, god. No shot Maxfax can force a cancel. Yeah, shouldn't be able to. Lings, they go for the counterattack. There's the defensive Adept. Adept does defend. The base is getting quite low. This should not kill the 4th. That would be game. Lings, they come in from behind. Stasis trap safe. Whew, thankfully, don't quite connect. Base down to half HP, and Maxfax backs off. Thank God. Like if this game, if the space were to go down, that would be disastrous. Does save the 4th. I mean, it's already been a rough start for Solar, but thankfully does save the 4th base. From here, Solar still trying to recover. Double expanding, getting his 4th. As again, so far, Maxfax just trading, picking up more Zerglings. Stays trapped, it does get baited, and here come the Storms. And again, everything that Solar has is weak against Storm. It's Ling Hydra, and there are plenty of Storms available. Stays trapped gets baited. Nice bait out of Solar. We'll zone away Maxfax. So Maxfax is moving in. No Banelings. Oh, without Banelings, Solar cannot engage. He cannot engage. His army's just going to crumble. Storm's popping off. Zealous charging in. And Solar, he cannot hold against this. Not against all those storms. Thankfully, storms that don't connect. Yeah, storms not quite connecting. High Templar goes down. Solar racing past the storm. No storms remaining. There are no storms left. But there are Zealots. Yeah, charge, I'll say dive in. They do a great job tanking. Down to 5 Hydras. Clutch transfuse. Barely keeping the Hydras alive. Oh god, the stasis trap does pop up. More High Templar coming in. Yeah, brutal stasis. Storm connecting with only 1 Hydra. Lackluster storms. Storms are lackluster. Archon goes down. These have been some expensive trades here for Max Max. And Solar, does he have enough? Can he keep pushing? Shout out to the high yield gas geyser, by the way. He has boosted gas income, making more Hydras, more Banelings. And again, Max Max, he was a little bit premature with his storms. Like, there were a good number of storms that weren't really connecting, that weren't really adding up. So miscontrol out of Max Max. Solar's moving in. Aliens, they shut down the warping against Zealots. Going for the Templar. Templar getting low. Solar catching out an Immortal as well, and he's done it. He's broken the base. He's broken the expansion. Whew. We do land a good Storm. Storm does land, but the base goes down at the same time. Zealots, they do get across the map. Solar, he's racing back home. Turns everything back around. This does buy some time. Max Max re-expanding. And again, Max Max, he's given a little bit of breathing room. It's a bit of room to breathe, throwing down stasis traps, shield batteries, more High Templar. But again, Solar, his goal here is to end the game. He goes to just end the game. Again, he's going for a lair tech all in. Behind this, no Infestation, no Hive, no Lurker Den. Right? There's no further tech here. The goal is to end the game with this lair tech army. And the longer this game goes on, the better it's going to be for Max Max. So Solar is just maxing out, consolidating his forces. Solar, he's about to max. Now, there is a world, if Max Max, if he can land the most perfect storms, they can still survive. But it's not going to be easy. Oracles out there, extend. The Oracles get called out. Again, rotating. Nice stasis. Wasted a storm. Yeah, did spend a storm on the stasis Banelings. Solar moving in. Storm connects with some of the Hydras. Lings, they bust into the mineral line. No reaction. Yeah, the boys don't pull away. And that was worth it. That was worth it for Solar. Takes down 18 workers. He comes in from behind. It gets a full surround. And I tell the massive connections. Banelings, they pop off, and Solar, he is doing it. He is breaking Max Max. Max Max just getting torn apart. Does take down the mineral line and the expansion. Jesus. Solar not paying attention. We'll lose the base. Solar rotating over. Banelings, they do break out. They break out of the stasis again. There's still storms coming in to reinforce. But the surround gets the Archons, or he gets the Immortals. Takes down one of the Immortals. And again, Max actually just can't keep up. Not anymore. He cannot keep up. And again, there's a reason why Solar was this week's Tuna Cup champion. True. Did win Tuna Cup last night, and he's here for the LiuLi Cup, papi. He's here for it. He's gonna at least make it to the finals. MaxFax getting desperate, going for a drop into the main. But he's down to sub 100 supply. We're powered by a bit of copium, baby. Yeah, let's go. It's powerful. As storms, they do connect. Connect with some of the Hydras. We have, what, 3 more storms available. Storm lands. Still got a couple more in the chamber. There's the second, there's the third. And that was the final storm. As now without storms, the Link Hydra will clean up everything else. The Archons, the Immortals, GG gets called, and Solar, he will claim the series 2-1, advancing on to the grand finals. Whew, GG. GG, well played, congratulations. Solar, he committed to the Lair Tech all-in. Again, he was able to stay on a 3.5 base economy with the high yield gas guys, of course, to help boost him, and he never got an Infestation Pit, he never got a Lurker Den, he never got a Hive, he stayed on a Lair Tech composition instead. And this was actually very similar to what we saw previously between Solar and ByuN on Tokamak, where Solar, his win condition was just to just power through and just overwhelm ByuN with his mass army and eventually break his defenses and break through and overwhelm. Same thing here as well, where Solar, he barely gave his opponent any room to breathe. The MaxFax barely had any breathing room at all, any time to just focus on his defenses, as it was just non-stop aggression out of Solar. And GG. GG, well played, congratulations. Solar, he will claim the series. And with that, we have our 2 finalists. It's going to be a best of 5 grand finals between Solar and herO. Let's go. Against Solar, he is last night's Tuna Cup champion, and can he go for the back-to-back Open Cup wins? Can he take Tuna Cup and LiuLi Cup as well? Let's go. Here to see if he can go for that. I'm gonna say hat trick, but that's 3, right? That's see if we can take both. For now, we're gonna be going on a short break. Vitas are underway, and when we come back, we'll have that final series. We'll have herO versus Solar. We'll see you soon. See you soon after the break. And welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to the final series of the broadcast, the grand finals, those grand finales here of LiuLi Cup Weekly number 6. It's been a pretty fast tournament, actually. I'm a little bit surprised, but yeah, we're sub 3 hours and we're already in the grand finals. We have our best of 5 ready for you, and spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Ley Lines, we have this morning's Pegasus Cup champion, It is herO. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have the winner we have last night's Sparkling Tuna Cup champion for Team Falcons. It is a Solar. And if you're in the chat, predictions are open. Place your bets on who you think will claim the series. Best of luck in the chat as we have our reigning tuna of the week against our reigning pig of the week. Let's go. We have our chanchito y el atún. Let's go, let's go. We have the tuna versus the pig, and we'll see who gets a second win this week. Who will win their second Open Cup of this week? Let's go. Let's go. Who gets that double up? Who won Wardy TV Monday, actually? Hold on. I'll be honest, I've forgotten. I'll double check. Was that also herO? We'll double check. Who was this week's Wardy champion? 52? 51? herO. Okay, there you go. Let's go. Let's go. But again, of course, don't forget to gamma in the chats. It is gamma time. Place your bets while you can. But herO, yes, this week he's already won 2 weeklies. herO, he won the Wardy TV Monday, and he also won the Pegasus Cup. Meanwhile, Solar, he won a Sparkling Tuna Cup. So herO's got 2 wins under his belt. Solar has 1, and we'll see if Solar can tie things up, or if herO will just win almost everything. Let's go. Let's go. So now we have our Hatchcats pool, standard open out of Solar. If you remember herO, he was last week's Tuna Cup champion, but not this week's, as herO did not compete this week. It's otherwise unavailable. Okay. Now we have our standard openers. So far, everything's looking as it should be, but again, our eyes are mainly going to be on Solar. As we were emphasizing in the previous series, and again, it was kind of shown off in that series as well, is that Solar is hyper aggressive in this matchup. We expect non-stop all-ins, different variations, of course, but we expect aggression out of the Zerg, and we expect the Protoss to be more defensive. That's what we expect. Link's cap is going to be somewhat denied. As herO, I just realized he sets up on the high ground. Wait, what? wait. Hold on. Wait. Sorry, I was distracted because I was checking the Wardy TV Monday weekly results. herO, he goes for a Gate Cyber on the high ground into a Phoenix? What is happening? Now, because of this setup here, it does mean that the wall is very, very, very fragile. And we're vulnerable to a main buff, so we're vulnerable to an early roach roll in as well. Again, this wall is glued together with pylons. Like, this is not... This is... You're asking to be all in, Pappy. He's crazy. Like, what is this? What are we holding against? There's 2 holes in this wall, by the way. There's a hole here as well. This is not a wall. This is... Even by herO standards, this is not a wall. Like, what just happened? Did herO did he autopilot into thinking he was in a PvP? Do you think he was playing against Classic again? Is that what just happened? Oh my god. I mean, we'll see if Solar tries to do anything about this. For now, we're just playing standard. Lings, they poke into the 3rd base. I'm just flabbergasted, but by this, I get the Lings, they can just run in, by the way. Like, there's a hole. There's a big gaping hole. Solar for now, pulling back. Does open up Roach Warren, so that's a 4:30 Roach Warren timing out of Solar. Going for the lair. It has vague dreams of being a wall someday. It has aspirations. One day I'll be a wall. And we'll be going Mass Phoenix, by the way. What is happening here? It's almost like we were playing a PvP, but yeah, Mass Phoenix here out of herO. He's not been subbing, catching out Overlords, at least trying to. I believe that's the third Overlord going down. I mean, herO has been hyper efficient. He has not lost a single unit, which is crazy. As I'm sure Solar's frazzled with what's going on. I am. What the hell is he doing? I mean, it's working. And again, this is the power of herO. Just freestyle. This is what sets herO apart from Max Packs and Classic. Is that herO, he's willing to do stuff like this. Just be pure chaos and make it work. The downside is that there's a game out there, there's a world out there where herO did this build and he just got roach all in and he just died. and the game ended like 2 minutes ago. And he looks awful, right? Like that's the thing with herO is that we have peaks and valleys when it comes to his builds and when it comes to his play. Either he looks amazing or things just fall in their face. There's very little times that we have anything in between. Meanwhile, Solo's going for the all-in. We have Overlord Speed on the way. That's going to be for Jumper Lords. Solo is going for the Ling Roach Queen all-in across the map. Setting up for the German Taxi. And we'll see if herO can survive because hero's teching. Look, he's getting a Bay, and he's getting a Temple of Archives, and he's getting +1, and he's getting a War Prism as well. Like, we're investing quite heavily here into tech. Only one shield battery. Colossus production has begun. If herO can survive until the Colossus, then maybe he can hold on. But the all-in is coming. Phoenix is A by time. They're keeping the queens busy. The longer this goes on, the better it is for herO. Solo, he's rallying. Where are the Dropper Lords? They haven't been morphed in yet. There they are. There we go. Dropper Lords are coming in. herO, he will spot this with the Observer. He sees. Yeah, herO, he chases. He follows the Overlords. And here comes Solar. War Prism into the main. Trying to distract. We'll get into the main base. Queen goes down. Solar's moving in. The Queen's be waddling. And back at home, we have 2 shield batteries and a cannon. Again, herO has been given time, right? He was able to scout, he was able to confirm, so he's been able to react with more static defense. Disruptor's on the way. The first disruptor's out. Never goes off, no connection. Oh, no connection, that is brutal. Army moves in, Files, they don't connect. The Colossus is out. Uh-oh. The Colossus has arrived, and can herO pull off this defense? It's a little bit shaky here. Archon gets picked off. Nicely done here by Solar. Nova will barely connect. Raising the Ravagers. One Disruptor goes down. And Disruptor falls. Another Nova does connect. Nice connection. And that Colossus is putting in a lot of work, by the way. Putting in a lot of work. Roaches are falling, and Solar's running out of steam. He's running out of steam. He's running out of army. Yeah, he just cannot break through. Again, here he was just given so much time to react. Shout out to the MVP Observer that saw everything. The Observer confirmed. Overlord's being chased down. And Solar's just going to be outscaled. He's just being outscaled here. Here he reacts with a Fleet Beacon. And 2 more Stargates. He's going into Sky Toss. You don't need to, but you just end the game. But here he's taking up into Sky Toss and a second Cybercore as well for double upgrades. Very greedy. Here he's overextending. Here he should not be here. There he goes up. Nice connection. Ooh, he saves the Colossus, but loses the Disruptor. Tries to juggle. Nice control. Juggles back. Remember, Solar's still all in. Everything here will not help in the defense. Like herO, instead of warping in more units and getting like a second Robo and continuing his production, he throws down tech. This is so greedy. Double Cybercore, triple Stargate, Fleet Beacon. In the face of an all-in. If herO dies here, it's going to be because of this. Nice contamination. Here comes the second wave. Solar, he's almost maxed out. He's almost maxed. Nova's going to be going off. They graze the army. And again, herO, has he been too greedy? He cannot afford to lose that Colossus. Disruptors, they go down. Files connect. Colossus exposed. Solar, he almost gets in, but not quite. We just see herO abandon the low ground. Yeah, the K-Waves get depowered. And again, here he was just too greedy. Like, he had this game won. He had this game won, and he chose to do this. He chose to do this, Pat. He's crazy. And Solar, he will overwhelm. Breaks into the natural. 40 probe kills. I say 40. Oh god, 46. 46 probes. Colossus barely saved. And again, it was just this. Losing 51 workers is not worth 2 carriers. It's not worth it. So here, his overconfidence. I mean, hey, that's herO for you, true. Just overconfident in the defense. He defended very well initially, but he chose to be greedy. He chose to cut corners. He chose to throw down 2 cyber cores and 3 stargates. Decisions were made, and it cost him everything. Cost him 3 full mineral lines. So even though he has carries, it doesn't matter. Like, the carries, they do not matter. Why? Well, because the Spire's almost done. The Spire's about to finish, which means Solo can afford Corruptors. herO got carried away. I see what you did there. GG. GG gets called. Solar, he somehow brings it back. Solar, he was dead in the water, but herO took a lot of risks, took a lot of chances. He cut a lot of corners. He was too greedy, and he didn't need to in the face of an all-in. Play safe, Pappy. He chooses not to, and in the end, Solar takes a lead. Solar, he does take a lead. And that was on herO. that was on herO, Pappy. Aye. But here we go. We're getting into game 2, and we'll see if Solar can extend his lead. We'll see if herO can bring it back. But his chaotic opener, his chaotic build, it was working. It was working. Go, we're getting to game 2. Game 2 is going to be on Incorporeal. Let's go. Let us go. Classic. Oh, out of game is broken. Hold on. Sorry about that, but the out of game overlay was a little bit broken, but should be fixed now. Should be fixed this morning. In the bottom right hand corner of Incorporeal, we have the South Korean Protoss player. We have the red Protoss representing himself, currently teamless, and we'll see if he can bring it back after, again, he had a lead, he had everything he needed in the last game, but he chose to cut corners in the face of it all in. He's crazy. He is herO. And spawning in the top left-hand corner, we have the South Korean Zerg player, we have the blue Zerg representing Team Falcons. It is Solar, leading the series 1-0. Go. As Soul does open up hatch first, herO this time sets up on the low ground. So low ground wall here from herO, this time playing standard. He's going for a standard start. No, this crazy high ground wall of nonsense. No. Not this time. And we'll see if herO can calm down. Once again, we do expect the same dynamic. We expect Solo to be the one going for an all-in, and we expect herO to be the one defending against the all-in as well. Here on Incorporeal, the map is going to be assisting herO in that defense, as it is a larger map. The map will easier to defend on 4 bases. But hopefully herO, he isn't anywhere near as greedy. Hopefully. It's tempting, I know, man. It's tempting. The temptation is real. LiuLi has hero favorite against Solar. LiuLi says a lot of things. Ah. So we're getting into our game. From here, Stargate opener active hero. I mean, I would say that hero is favored against Solar, for sure. Is favored. I think that's the obvious take. But as was shown in game one, even though hero had a massive lead, like, he is prone to be overconfident at times. I mean, that's just hero for you. That's something that LiuLi doesn't tell you. Ah. From here, we are going to be opening up. Once again, as we mentioned, the chances of another all-in, another kind of similar dynamic is going to be quite high here for our two players. We do see hero going for his second gateway. Interesting. We'll see if he throws down another gate. We'll keep an eye on hero. We'll see if he's tempted to go for a Twilight Council. But now there's the expansion. Oh. Once again, early Eva Chamber. Once again, fast +1 melee out of Solar. Going for a standard opener. If you recall, we saw this against Max. So this can lead into Ling Hydra or into Ling Bane Hydra. Typically, this means that we're going to be skipping roaches as melee is on the way. And hero doesn't get early tech. Okay, so no early tech out of hero. Oracles do fan out. So far, Solar's keeping up. Doesn't lose a drone. Oh! And drones are barely saved. Nice control. Stasis trap. It does graze the workers, gets a couple in the stasis trap, and hero does go for a standard follow-up. We have the Twilight Council into Forge, Gateway Explosion, +1 and Blink going to be on the horizon here. Hero playing standard. It's going to be up to hero's control to find some more damage. Moving in with his triple Oracle. Can he get a Queen? Helps not to. Behind this early charge instead. Okay, you have my attention. Now, the goal here is for hero to try to catch Solo with his pants down. Now, again, it is very common in this matchup for Zerg players to go purely Ling Hydra, instead. Like that is again quite normal, quite standard. What is Ling Hydra weak against, though? These early charge timings. Now, if Solar catches wind of what's going on, if we get a Baneling Nest or a Roach Warren and we start either Baneling or Roach production, then Solar can shut this down, can defend, can survive, and then head into a longer game state. There it is, a safety Baneling Nest out of Solar. Ooh, as Queen's getting caught out. Gets one, gets two. Two Queens do fall. Brutal pickoffs. Better trades here for hero. Hero does lose one of his oracles, but again, still better trades. And we'll see if Solar can catch wind of the Zealots. Seeing the Zealots here at the third base would be a tell. So Solar, he moves out. Baneling Nest is almost done. Solar, he pokes in, and oh, he doesn't quite spot the army. But now he does. Yeah, Zealots are revealed. Zealot warp in. Zealots are revealed here on the right hand side. Now he knows. So Solar, he knows that Blink was skipped. He knows that charge is on the way, and we need as many Banelings as possible back at home. He's racing back. He's racing back home. There it is. Banelings are now morphing in. As we mentioned, now that he saw charge, he knows exactly what he needs. So the Banelings are amassing. The early charge timing shouldn't achieve too much. But the Oracles, they've gotten quite a lot over time. He gets another Oracle. He does replace the one that he loses. It's going to be 4 drones going down. Oracles, they poke in. They catch another queen. Oh, another queen. That's what, the 4th queen? Yeah, 4th queen does fall. At the same time, they'll say charge in the right hand side, but there are Banelings to defend, and Banelings, they will crash in. They clean up the zealots. But still not enough lings. Barely not. Again, this army is so vulnerable, so exposed. But Solar doesn't have enough. Yeah, not enough here. The Oracles, they wreak havoc, they focus on the Hydras. Zealots charge in, not enough Banelings. And here he's breaking through. He's trying to at least. Nice round. This round takes down the Immortal. The Immortal falls. Queens, they hold their own. Solar, he's barely holding here, barely surviving. But without Banelings, these Zealots, they pose a big threat. herO knows. herO knows how close he is to breaking Solar here and now. Solar needs more time. He needs time. As else they do get into the mineral line. Oh, Storm's going to be popping up. Hydras, they do spread, they do take them first Immortal, but alas, there's just none of support. Yeah, none of Ling Bane. GG gets called. Zealous, they overwhelm the Hydras, and herO will tie the series 1-1. GG. Whew, GG, well played. With that, we do tie the series up. Again, Solar, he just wasn't able to keep up with the charge, with the trading for the charge. More importantly, the Oracles. The Oracles are doing so much damage, killing workers, sniping queens. That did slow down Solar. It meant that he had a hard time droning, saturating, and actually getting into his army production. We saw that time and time again, he just barely didn't have enough to actually punish herO. He was surviving, he was defending, but he wasn't capitalizing on any of those fights. In the end, he was overwhelmed. GG. GG, well played. And again, these charge timings, these early charge timings, these charge builds, they can catch players off guard. They can punish players for skipping roaches. For skipping on those roaches. But shout out to herO, he had some immaculate Oracle control. He dealt so much damage with the Oracles. And we have a series. We have a back and forth. We're going to be jumping into Tokamak here. We're going to be loading into game number 3, and we're going to be loading into one of the larger maps in the map pool. Now, as we get into these more defensive maps, we spoke about it, right? Incorporeal, Tokamak, Maganatha. These are maps where I do favor herO. I do favor herO with this more kind of defensive style, building up into a greater economy. Here we saw herO was aggressive, yes, true, but also his bases were left alone. His bases were left alone, and we can see that happening here as well. We'll see how our players do adjust. As spawning in the top right hand corner of Tokamak, we have the red Protoss player. We have the red Protoss, the south green Protoss, tying up the series. It is herO. And spawning in the bottom left hand corner, we have the blue Zerg player. The blue Zerg representing Team Falcons. It is Solar. Here we go. Now, in general, the longer the game goes on, the more favored herO is going to be. We saw that Solar, he was attempting to embrace his Ling Bane Hydra, but he never quite got there last game. And we'll see if Solar can be more aggressive earlier on. Again, the map is going to be working against him. Welcome to Tokamak. Tokamak does have limited attack paths, unlike on other maps. So you can see here the area in between the area outside of the natural, in between the 3rd and 4th, is closed off. It is closed off here. So there are only 2 real attack paths, 2 ways into the bases. One towards the 3rd, one towards the 4th, which makes it easier for the defending player to set up on 4 bases, to defend on 4 bases, to secure themselves, and to get into a longer game. on a map like Tokamak, if herO were to respond with 3 Stargates and 2 Cyber Cores and rush into Skytos after defending against an all-in, it is, I would say that the map is going to be helping him here, and there's a higher chance he could get away with that. I'm sure Solo knows. I'm sure he is aware. Show us what you got. Oh, hello, herO. As herO's having fun here. Are we going for a hidden Twilight Council? Or Stargate? What are we proxying? Okay, proxy Stargate. Now, this is a bold move. The purpose here is proxy Stargate, proxy Oracle to rush the first Oracle into the mineral line and to get economic damage done. The problem with this build specifically is that, as you saw in the last game, Oracles, they have their role in the mid game, right? Like Oracles, they gain value over the course of the game, and you do ideally want 3 Oracles. And if you lose 1 Oracle, you want to replace it, get a 4th Oracle. The problem with going for a proxy Stargate is that if this gets found, if this is denied, then it stops Oracle production, and you actually have a really hard time in the mid game stabilizing, having any kind of presence, and having any kind of scouting as well. So this can deal a lot of damage early on. The downside, of course, is that if this gets depowered, it's going to hinder you in the mid game. So it is quite risky. Just because it's a production building that typically is made use of throughout the course of the game. Likewise, if it gets shut down, if it gets depowered, this will also slow down a Skytos transition as well, as you have to rebuild the Stargate to get a fleet beacon. So it is a big risk. Oracle's on the way. First one does hit the main. Spore's not quite done. Again, this hits earlier than normal and does get 4 drone kills so far. Second Oracle's almost done. And can we get into a 3rd Oracle? And can we keep all this powered? Solo, he's looking. You can see him fanning out. He's searching for the proxy. And Solo eventually will find it. Oh. Does find the Stargate. So where? Oracle defends back at home. Oracle defends the proxy. And the 3rd Oracle is going to pop out. Yeah, here he gets there. 3 Oracles, that's all he needs. Nice side stepping. Only using 1 Oracle. Head up, say reinforce. Single lever chamber out of Solar. Oracles, they hit the natural, sorry, they hit the 3rd. And here just going for a standard follow-up, and so far, how many drones has he killed? 7. 7 drones so far. A nice start for herO, considering he hasn't lost any of his Oracles yet. Oh, we can shade in. And it does shade in. 2 adepts taking 1-shot drones. And drones are going down. Oh boy. Yeah, this is becoming too much. Oh, he wants more! He gets it! Gets another drone. Oh god, shades into the actual, more drones going down. This is game ending. This is game ending damage at this point. Ay, ay, ay. He gets even more towards the end. 10 workers, 17 kills in total. Oh god. And again, you may be looking at this and maybe thinking, oh, but look at the supply. And I'll be like, oh, the supply lies back. True, true. Supplies are neck and neck here, but Solar, he is far behind. Ideally, he wants to be up when it comes to the worker count. He needs to be up in workers to be able to keep up with his opponent, to be equivalent to that of the Protoss. So he has a lot of redroning to do. Because he's redroning, that delays everything else. Later lair, later baliness, later gases, later tech, later upgrades. Everything is delayed here for Solar. And herO is very comfortable. Oh boy. Here he's got +1 on the way, he's got Blink. How many gateways? 5, soon to be 7. He might just go for a proxy 8th gateway and go for a 3 base all in. That is a viable option. And it would make sense considering that herO has a lot of momentum. Lings hit the Stargate. herO, he doesn't get supply blocked. I mean, he does for a moment, but we have 2 more pylons on the way. Here comes Midvat, here comes a probe. Yep, 3 base all in. 3 base all in. Here comes the 8th gateway. Again, this was very popular, very trendy a couple of years ago. We saw this most recently in RSL from Zan, if you recall, in game 1 against Raynor. Ooh, probe does fall. The probe goes down just before the pylons finish, which means that no gateway. Slow warp-ins. Slow warp-ins here from herO. Warp-ins are delayed. Every little bit does help Solar, but there's still so much working against him. And herO's going in for the kill. There's the 8th gateway. So again, 3 base 8 gate all in. Lings, they attempt to surround. But here you can just blink away. Just blink away. Stasis traps are ready. And there's nothing. There's no Lings. There's no support. Lings go down. Hydras are exposed. Expensive losses here for Solar. Losing Hydras, losing Queens. And with that, GG gets called. herO will overwhelm, and herO takes the lead in the series 2-1. GG. Whew, GG, well played. Again, herO, he dealt crippling damage with the Oracle and Adept Harass, going proxy Oracle of all things, which is a rare build in PvZ, but he was able to pop off, able to deal critical damage. Remember, he killed 17 drones. 17 workers went down. That is game-ending damage, and Solar, he just could not recover from that. He tried to recover from that. He tried to reprobe, tried to redrone, I should say, and resaturate, but the damage had been done, and herO just snowballed into a win. Again, it was a really good decision to go for the 8 gate from there, just because he knew that he knew that Solar was struggling. He knew that Solar was in a really rough game state. So herO just went for the kill. And now we're getting into game number 4. And herO has not been playing standard. He's not even when it comes to herO standards, like he has not been playing normal. herO, we saw him go into like a weird quirky mass Phoenix build in game number 2. Or in game number 1, my apologies. Crazy. Oh, sorry, that wasn't the second game. In the first game, it's all blending together to me. It's all blending together. But here we go. Now we're getting into our next game, potentially the final game of the series, and spawning in the top left-hand corner of Pylon, we have the red Protoss player, the red Protoss himself, representing himself as well, leading the series 2-1. It is a herO. 1 game away from claiming the series, and spawning in the bottom right hand corner we have the blue Zerg player, himself, representing Team Falcons. It is Solar. And the last 2 games have had something in common. Game number 2 was on Incorporeal. Game 3, of course, we just had on Tokamak. Both games, herO was able to get an early lead, early damage with the Oracles, with the Adepts, with the harassment. In game 2, it led into the charge timing. Here in game 3, we saw it lead into the 8 gate. Solar's got to tighten up his early. We got to tighten up to clean up that early game defense. Otherwise, it'll be over. Give us an ace match, man. Give us an ace match. Here we go. From here we have standard openers, hatch gas pool out of Solar. Does open standard. Meanwhile, herO across the map, just going for his own standard open as well. Low ground wall, let's go. Does go for the low ground. point that out just because what happened in game 1. And this time the Stargate is back at home. This time not proxy. Now we are leading into one of the smaller maps. This is where I do favor Solar. This is where Solar can make use of the map to leverage into an early move out. An early timing. For the most part, this series, Solar has been stuck reacting to herO, and Solar has struggled. When I say reacting, I mean specifically game 2 and game 3. Game 1 was a little bit different. Game 1, Solar actually was able to get into his all-in. Did happen in game 1. Oh, hello, Estebanio. Yes, Estebanio. You're paying with all the 17 drones going down. I mean, you'd also hear the pain if we had 17 probes going down as well. Ooh, so we're going for a 3-gate follow-up. Okay, so hyper aggression out of herO. So the initial opener was standard, but instead of going for an expansion, he delays the third base, delays his tech by going for an extra set of gateways. Okay, so with this we can warp in extra units early on. We can be aggressive early on with more adepts, with vanilla adepts. Once again, herO does mix up his build. Does mix it up. Third base just now being thrown down again, late third. Just poking in. Ooh, where are the drones? Drones are not here. Drones out of position. Sorry, Lings out of position, I meant to say. 3 drones going down. And so far, here he's trading well. Ooh, does overextend. Oracle pulls away. Denies mining, gets another worker, 4 drone kills. And remember, because of the extra set of gateways, we're warping in extra depth. So we're going for another warp in after this. Stasis goes off. Solar, he does pull away. But Solar's droning. Meanwhile, herO is not stopping with the aggression. Here comes the move out. More adepts. Remember, herO did go for a 3-gate. Now, thankfully, Solar saw this. Typically, in a standard game, Solar, if he didn't see this move out, he'd just be droning. He'd just be droning, getting a 4th expansion, and this could deal critical damage, but thankfully, because of the scouts, Solar is making links. He is making links. Oh. Counting out the adepts. Does move in, does force a cancel. We did not stop Oracle production. Jesus, getting into a 4th Oracle. And herO, he does force a cancel. Was that a cancel or a kill? It does force a cancel. Solar just being pulled apart. And once again, Solar just cannot get into his own build. As Solar, he will lose everything. Every queen is being hunted down. Adepts, they do shade back. And Solar, he's committed. He has to do critical damage here. Has to get something done. Solar's trying to be active. herO hunting for oasis, hunting for anything else. At this point, he could dive on the queens. As they do find some stalkers. Where are the adepts? Yeah, adepts out of position. I mean, they're across the map. Once again, the queen's being hunted down. And he's going for the final set of queens. We'll get them. Oof. Does go steer a couple of oracles. Adepts they shade into the mineral lines. These are vanilla adepts. But they still trade well. They trade well for themselves. herO shading into the main, catching out more workers. So far it's been 10 drone kills. Not too many worker kills, but the base just keeps going down. Solar just cannot expand. Cannot expand, puppy. 8 queens have fallen. And here is pushing in. There it is. Does force another cancel once again. Solar just starved out. Solar, he just cannot keep up. He cannot get into his own build. herO just takes that away from him time and time again. Solar, he's like, I just want to get into a 3-way all in. He says, no. I won't let you. I won't let you stabilize. Ah, no. Solar gets supply blocked. I don't think Solar plans on joining up his 4th, but the 4th is crucial for Larva. Just to keep this going. Upgrades are about to finish. And soon the game will end. Soon either Solar breaks herO or he dies trying. Solar's just waiting for the upgrades, Baneling speed, Hydra speed, +1 range. Solar finishing up. And it's all or nothing. From here we have what, 7 High Templar. Once again, here's doing something a little bit unnecessary. We have a fleet beacon on the way. We don't need a fleet beacon. Almost gets surrounded. Baneling's gonna be rolling in. Baneling's are denied. Nice control here by herO. herO diving on those Hydras. Hydra's gonna be going down. And again, herO just gonna focus on warp-ins. Just warp-ins. Just on the main army that cleans up every single Hydra. And from here, herO can counterattack. GG gets called. And herO snowballs out of control. He will claim the series 3-1. And herO will be this week's LiuLi Cup champion. GG. Whew. GG, well played, congratulations herO. He will claim the series, will take the 3-1. And herO, not bad at all. Again, herO, he almost got all the weeklies this week. herO, he won Wardy TV Monday, Pigasaur Cup, and LiuLi Cup as well. 3 tournaments back to back to back. He missed out on 1. He missed out on Tuna Cup. If you remember, herO, he signed up, but he did not check in. herO, unfortunately, he was busy climbing mountains. herO, he was unavailable for the Tuna Cup, so he didn't quite go for the entirety of the Open Cups. Almost, as he was last week's champion. But this week, he does at least round off with the LiuLi Cup win as well. GG, well played, congratulations. My condolences to Solar. When it comes to the series overall, you could see that Solar, as we were mentioning, he thrives in aggression, he thrives in all-ins, but typically Solar, he goes for 3-way all-ins. Like, that's his go-to, is like a more standard 3-way all-in, and we saw that in game 1. We saw it in game 1, and hey, it worked. I mean, it shouldn't have. If you remember, herO was ahead, herO shut it down, but then herO was hyper greedy, and he got caught with his pants down. What's important about game 2, game 3, and game 4 is that herO, he was active early on and he was able to cripple Solar before Solar could even saturate his 3rd base. Like, before Solar could really get into the mid game to get into his all-ins, he was being punished. He was being torn apart by the non-stop Adept harass, Orc harass, by the unique builds. I should emphasize that as well. Remember, herO, there was one game where he went for a proxy Stargate into proxy Oracles, another game where he went into a 3-gate follow-up, another game where he went into an 8-gate follow-up as well, into an 8-gate all-in. So herO was hyper-aggressive with some more specialized and quirky builds designed to cripple Solar before he could drone up to 3 bases. GG, well played. So a very aggressive play here by herO, and with that he was able to dictate the pace of the game and take momentum away from Solar. Congratulations to herO. Otherwise, hope you all enjoyed yourselves. Hope you all had a great time tonight. Again, a bit of a shorter broadcast for this week's LiuLi Cup. A little bit shorter, but we do wrap things up. So thank you. Thank you so much for watching. Thanks so much for tuning in. Is this the finals? Yes, yes. Was Los Grand Finales. Well, seriously, how much is the prize pool? Roddy puts it at 500, Roddy at 400. It is 500. Why does it matter though? It is yeah, 500 USD. Oh no, are you saying the clickbait titles are working on you? Are they? It's something that all the other casters do. We don't do it ourselves, but maybe we should. Is they always put the prize pool in the title, which always like bothers me because it shouldn't. The prize pool shouldn't matter. Like the games themselves are good anyway, so we don't do that. But I do know that it does work on people. Like if people see like 2K prize pool or like 10K prize pool or stuff like that, like it's meant to be like a clickbait like title to bait people in. Maybe we should start, Bobby. Maybe we should start. Aye. You won't believe how much money is in this tournament. Then they got the big arrow. True, the arrow meta. And then the O face thumbnail. Every time. I refuse to use clickbait. It doesn't feel good. But it works. So. Aye. But regardless, GG, well played. Congratulations to herO for claiming the tournament. And with that, we are going to be wrapping up here for the day. When it comes to the rest of our schedule, you can see it before you here. Exclamation mark. Do we have a calendar? I believe calendar command. But you can see it here before you. We have just wrapped up our Wednesday cast with LiuLi Cup. Tomorrow, starting Thursday into Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, we have RSL. We have the Revival StarCraft League back to back. I believe this should be wrapping up and concluding the second season of the RSL. Meanwhile, we also have the Podcast. The Podcast is going to be on Thursday, and we have KSL on Saturday. So we do have plenty of other events going on throughout the week. Alongside the RSL. Now we are going to be skipping out on morning casts. Technically, we could cast even more. Technically, I could have a morning cast tomorrow on Thursday, morning cast on Friday, morning cast on Sunday as well. Usually that's what we have, but I did want to try to slow things down a little bit, just to ease up, especially post EWC. Especially now that I have some pet bunnies that I want to look after and spend some time with and stuff. So some of my time is being dedicated elsewhere. Fun fact: I actually just finished last week setting up some garden beds. I decided to start making some food for the bunnies as well. All the food. I've been touching grass like an animal, Bobby. It's crazy. So I've had a little bit less time to cast recently. A little bit less time. Otherwise, if this was like beginning of 2025, I would be casting like every morning as well, twice a day, every day. But slowing things down. It means that I can actually sleep. It's crazy. I can sleep. But our next cast should be tomorrow. Should be in less than 24 hours with RSL. With the Revival StarCraft League. Yes. I'll try to post some more photos in our Discord server. I did just post a photo today in our Discord of the bunnies. But we'll try to get on that a little bit more. Otherwise, thanks for watching. Thanks for tuning in. And again, we'll be back tomorrow at 8 p.m. AEST. That is going to be in under 24 hours. We'll see you then for the RSL, for the Revival StarCraft League. Otherwise, thanks for watching. Thanks for tuning in. Stick around. We're going to be giving another StarCraft streamer a raid. We'll find someone to send everyone over to. Find someone who's live at the moment. Let's see. Miguelito, true. Miguelito is live. Who else is live? I don't notice anyone else, so sure, we'll give some love to Vindicta. Otherwise, thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys tomorrow. See you guys. Hasta luego. Hasta luego, papi. Hasta luego. See you next time.